Good morning, my good people. It's Thursday, December 22nd. Man, we back for another episode of the Man to Man Pod. Man, I'm yours truly, Antoine Bethea. I'm rocking solo today. My guy D Buck, man, traveling, trying to beat this weather. Obviously, he got to get to the Thunderdome, so he's on a flight. So I'm gonna be rolling solo today, but we're gonna do something different today. Obviously, we're gonna talk some ball. Pro Bowl Ross has been announced. We're gonna speak on Jalen Hurts, his injury. What does that do for him in the MVP race? What does that do for the Philadelphia Eagles? These last couple of games and going into the playoffs. We're gonna talk about the benching of Matt Ryan. What does that say for our Indianapolis Colts? What does that say about Matt Ryan and his career as well? But one thing I'm excited about, I was thinking about last night, like, hey, since I'm gonna be rolling dolo, let's get some of our people that's been following us for a minute. Let's get them on here, get them on live. We can talk some ball, we can talk whatever they talking about, man. So the producer Tone, he's reached out to a few people, 10 to 15 people. I'm gonna bring them up, man, and we just gonna shoot the shit, man. So I'm excited about today's show. We're gonna get it in, man. We're gonna have some good time. It's just almost Christmas, man. Hope y'all had a good night rest. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the other side. Man, we back. First, man, before we start off, man, I want to send my condolences to Ronnie Hillman's family with heavy hearts, man. Got the news last night. Well, actually, I think he maybe passed this morning, but former Broncos running back Ronnie Hillman dies of cancer at the age of 31. I think it said it was a rare form of bone cancer. So again, my condolences to his family, to the Broncos family. I think for them, man, I think it's like 2 years in a row that a former player has passed. So again, as we always talk about, love on your family, love on your loved ones, your family, friends, man. You never know, when that day could come. So again, man, my condolences to Ronnie Hillman's family. To his loved ones, to his friends, man. So y'all pray for that, man. Y'all pray for him and his family. Man, as always, Thursday night football tonight, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Jets. Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Last 5 games, you can see it here. Tone got these nice graphics from FanDuel. Last 5 games, they're on a 2-game win streak. Jacksonville Jaguars are playing some good ball. Trevor Lawrence, man, he's out here doing what he's doing, playing some good ball at the quarterback position. Defense is balling. The New York Jets, man. Last 5 games, they're 1-4. So I'm gonna give you my pick. I'm gonna go Jacksonville Jaguars just because of the momentum that they have. And then at the Jets, man, their quarterback position, man, it's it's up in the air, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to overcome that. These last couple games throughout the year, the defense. We've been talking about the defense all year. The defense has been playing well, been flying around. But as we all know, you need a guy at that quarterback position. And right now, where he's at in his career, I would say Zach Wilson is not there yet. Mike White, balanced some injuries. We'll see how that goes. But Zach Wilson is not it right now. But he has a lot of room for growth. I never want to be that guy that says, in year 2, year 3, man, he needs to be looking like a future Hall of Famer. I know that's not realistic. But some of the mistakes and things that we've been seeing when he is on the field, there's some things that needs to be corrected. But I think he can get it corrected. But tonight, man, I'm going with Jacksonville, and they are actually 1.5 point underdogs. So it's a pick 'em. So I'm gonna go Jacksonville with the points. Trevor Lawrence, I feel like he could continue to mature and keep playing some good ball like he's been playing. So yeah, man, y'all put some comments here in the section, man. Again, man, today I'm rolling dolo, no D but today, but I'm definitely gonna tap in and get some of my fans on here so we can have some good conversation for the day. In other news, Jalen Hurts, man, his injury. What does this mean for Jalen Hurts individually, but also what does this mean for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And what do I mean by that? So individually, we talked about it on Monday. We feel as though Jalen Hurts is at the top of that MVP race, right? I think he should win MVP. Obviously, you have Patrick Mahomes that's been playing some good ball of late. But sitting where the Philadelphia Eagles are sitting at with one loss and just what he's been doing, how he's been playing the game, I think he should be the lead runner for the MVP, in the MVP discussion. But with this injury and possibly him missing the remainder of the season, will that hurt him in that discussion, right? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. What do you guys think? And then as far as the team, we always say, man, you want to go into the playoffs playing your best ball. And with Jalen Hurts possibly missing these last few games, like what can that do for his play and just the continuity of that offense? Do y'all think that's going to be a major factor if Jalen Hurts doesn't play these last couple of games? And I would say, yeah, I think it will. Again, he's been playing well, but it's very important to be playing your best ball, and just the continuity has to be there going into the playoffs. I think it's a lot of question marks, just even with teams that have locked up their division, locked up, hey, we're going to the playoffs, and then you have that discussion as far as, do we sit our starters or do we play our starters? I think there's a lot of conversation. A lot of coaches look at it differently, right? I know when I used to rock, it would be times where if a player was battling, some type of injuries throughout the year or late in the season, coach would be like, all right, we're going to sit this guy down. But for the most part, it's like, okay, well, at least we're going to play a first half, right? We'll play the first half. So guys can still go out there and play. So you're not rusty going into the playoffs. So again, it's one of them things where it's not a right or wrong answer, but I think everybody can agree on that. You have to be playing good ball going into the playoffs, regardless of what that first quarter of the season, what that second quarter of the season looked like. That third and fourth quarter of the season, you got to be playing good ball. So that's the only thing that I have as far as concern with this Jalen Hurts injury, as far as just how the offense will play, and then even how he'll be playing coming off a shoulder injury. So it's going to be something that just to think about as far as moving forward. Now, for one, Bulls fan will hurt the rhythm. G.I. Joe, did you see Kyle Shanahan's comments about sitting before going into the playoffs? No, I did not. So put it in the comments, G.I. Joe. What'd he say? G.I. Joe, yeah, Gardner Minshew, he's back. I definitely think he can make it work. He's proven that, he can go out there, he can win some games for a football team. So definitely excited to see what Gardner Minshew can go out there to do tonight. But I don't think it's just going to be like Jalen Hurts. But definitely good to have a backup quarterback that can go out there and rock. Kevin Kernick. AB, can you talk about your experience with the Colts when Dungy chose to rest you guys once you had your spot locked up? I forgot what year that was. Yeah, I just touched on it a little bit before, but yeah, again, it just depended. Depending on the situation. We typically, talking my shit, we would have that AFC South locked up pretty early for most of the time. But again, it was a situation where our guys hurt, our guys injured. Um, let's at least have some of the guys. I don't think it was ever a point where it would be all starters just sitting. It was never that, because again, continuity is real, it's serious, and you need that. You need that going into the playoffs. So I would say that the only time guys felt the type of way, it was 2000. It was year 4, 2009. It was the year that we were 14-0. The second, game 15, we was playing against the New York Jets. And it was a game first half, and they ended up pulling us second half, pulling a lot of starters second half. We ended up losing that game. So naturally, we just thought that, okay, game 16, we're going to Buffalo. It's going to be snowing like crazy. That the starters are going to be sitting, but it was some things that needed to go on. So we ended up playing the first half, and I think that was the only time as players we were like, well, if we was going to play this first half, game 16, we should have just played the entire game 15. We felt as though we could have beat the Jets, and hey, let's go for this perfect season. But again, man, it just depends on the coach's approach, what they think is best for their team. Obviously, they know the pulse of their team. They know what they need, what they don't need. So as a coach, man, you can kind of play with it differently. But I think Coach Dungy, Coach Caldwell, I think those coaches, man, they handled it really, really, really good. Another question from J Starship. AB, are you surprised on the Jags form as of late? Was it expected that Trevor Lawrence would start to get his rhythm? For the people that's been listening and been catching our shows, I said this early in the year that the Jacksonville Jaguars were my surprise team. They started off hot, they cooled down in the middle of the season, but as you can see, as of late, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been playing some pretty decent ball. I think it was expected that Trevor Lawrence, start to get his rhythm. Obviously, that's why he was picked where he was picked at. His ceiling is and was very high. Coach Doug Peterson, I think he's doing a great job with that young team. That team is young. The offseason, they made some good acquisitions on both sides of the ball via free agency, via the draft. So again, having those weapons around a young talent like Trevor Lawrence, I think you only start to see what it could look like. And just think about what year 2 is going to be, where all these guys have been together, the continuity continues to grow. So we're gonna see what tonight looks like. We're gonna see what tonight look like as far as the Jacksonville Jaguars. This could be one of them things like the Detroit Lions. Like the Detroit Lions are playing really, really good ball right now. And if the playoffs started today, I don't care who you are, you do not want to see the Detroit Lions right now. Not saying that they're unbeatable, but the confidence that they're playing with, you can see the swag, the coaches on the sideline, that's what you want going into the playoffs. So if the Jags can come out and put a good showing out on a short week, going to the Christmas holiday on a hot note on a 3-game win streak, the Jacksonville Jaguars could be somebody that could get into the playoffs. Because think about it now, Ryan Tannehill, they just put him on IR. Right? So we're going to have the young boy in. The young boy's going to be starting, right? The Tennessee Titans are 1 game ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Jacksonville get their win tonight. We'll see what happens with Tennessee. Jacksonville Jaguars could definitely go in the playoffs representing the AFC South. Kevin said Titans are dead. You know what I mean? we'll see. But it'll be crazy to have Jacksonville Jaguars in the offs, the Detroit Lions in the offs. Some new towns, man. They flipping over some new leads, man. But it's good to see, man. And speaking of our coach, Matt Ryan, bench for the second time this year. They're deciding to go with Nick Foles against the Chargers. So two things, right? So what does this say about our coach, right? I think they're looking like anything. They're just looking for any glimpse of hope from that quarterback position. Matt Ryan has not looked good consistently under the center. Went with Sam earlier this year. So now, you're going to Nick Foles. See if he can give our coach that offense a spark. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor, he's on IR with that ankle injury that he's been battling all year. So, man, it's been a rough year for a coach, man. Again, all we can say is that, hey, you got to fight to the end. You putting your work on film, so everybody's critiquing that from the coaching staff, from the front office, from other teams. If you're hitting free agency, so you got to put good film out there. You got to continue to work hard, man. So again, our coach, man, it's been a rough year, a long year. But we are faithful fans, man. We're going to stick with it, man. But again, what does it say about Matt Ryan's career? Is he done? Is he done? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Is Matt Ryan done? I'm not, if it's not the coach, will somebody else, sign the vet? Definitely has a lot of knowledge, but like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Before we keep it going, man, shout out to FanDuel, our official sponsor, the Man to Man podcast. Shout out to FanDuel Sportsbook, man, holding us down. You can go to FanDuel, get your same game parlays. It's easy to do. It's easy to bet with them. So again, man, y'all tap in with FanDuel. Thank you for what you do for the Man to Man pod. And this is going to be a part of the show as far as our Pro Bowl rosters. Pro Bowls was announced. The NFL announced the Pro Bowl rosters, man. And this is an important time, exciting time for players, for fans. Obviously, we know how the voting goes. You have some fans, you have some players, you have some coaches. And in my time playing, I was able to be announced as a Pro Bowl participant 3 times in my career, 2 times with the Indianapolis Colts, 1 time with the San Francisco 49ers. And as a player, man, that's dope to get that recognition, not only from your peers, but again, from the coaches and from the fans. And I would say that I think about the first time that I found out that I was going to the Pro Bowl. It was my second year. And I'm kind of thinking about this because I looked at the video. Here, matter of fact, we got it right here. Ron Rivera telling his guys that they made the Pro Bowl. So check this out.
No, yeah, don't mind him. We're just finished. I got to finish that up in a second. But listen, congratulations. You're the Pro Bowl special teams guy. You're the starter. You earned it, young man. Everything you've done, and I know your mom would be proud. You earned it, young man.
Appreciate it, Coach.
He's one of the best in the league, man. That's something special. And shout out to Ron Rivera, man, and his team capturing all of that. But for me, like I said, my first time finding out that I was going to the Pro Bowl, it was off season. I was actually back at Howard University in DC, just chilling. I was at my old DB coach's office, just sitting there chilling. I got a call from Craig Kelly. shout out to Craig Kelly. I was wondering, like, man, why is Craig calling me now? You know, season is over. And he was like, man, congratulations. I'm like, congratulations about what? And this, I was a alternate. I was an alternate. He was like, congratulations. I'm like, what you talking about, Craig? He was like, you haven't heard? I'm like, I haven't heard shit. He was like, man, you made the Pro Bowl. And it was like one of them things. It was like, man, like excitement, you know. And my DB coach at the time, Ron Boatwell, my old DB coach, Ron Bolton, man, he was just looking at me like, what's up? I'm like, man, you know, I just got a call, said I just made the Pro Bowl. And think about it, my first year, we went to the Super Bowl, we won the Super Bowl. And then my second year, being able to get that call, saying that I made the Pro Bowl, like those first 2 years for me as an individual coming from Howell, man, it was just a great time, man, a great time. So again, shout out to all the guys that made the Pro Bowl. We have them here. We have them by position here in the NFC. I'm gonna run through them really quick for the people that can't see the screen. We're gonna start on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterbacks: Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, and Kirk Cousins. Looking at the NFC, you know, you can have your question marks, but I think this was a good list right here. Jalen Hurts, shout out to Geno Smith, man. Didn't write them folks back, and Kirk Cousins, man. So I think, you know, they got it right here. Running backs: Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, and Miles Sanders. All from the NFC East. All from the NFC East. Shout out to those guys. Fullback, Kyle, I'm not going to butcher his last name, Kyle J from the 49ers. Wide receivers: Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Scary Terry, man-to-man pod alum. I think they got it right there as well. Tight ends, we want George Kittle and T.J. Hockenson. Offensive tackles: Trent Williams, Lane Johnson, and Tristan Wirfs. Offensive guards: Zach Martin, Landon Dickerson, and Chris Lindstrom. And the center: Jason Kelsey and Frank Ragnow. So a good list. Obviously, you know, every year you can talk about, you know, different players that should have and could have made the roster. But I think that's a great list on the defensive side of the ball for NFC. Started with the defensive ends: Nick Bosa, Brian Burns, and DeMarcus Lawrence. Interior linemen: Aaron Donald, Jonathan Allen, and Dexter Lawrence, a.k.a. Sexy Dexy. Outside linebackers, we got Michael Parsons, Darius Smith, and Hassan Reddick. Shout out to Haas, man. We got to get Haas on the pod, man. We got to get that done. Inside middle linebackers: Fred Warner, Demario Davis. Corners: Darius Slay, Trayvon Diggs, Tyreek Woolen, and Jair Alexander. Safeties: free safety Quadre Diggs, strong safety Budda Baker, and Talanoa. I ain't gonna butcher his last name either, but young man been playing and been balling out there in the Bay Area for the San Francisco 49ers. So congrats to them. And special teams: long snapper Andrew DePola, punter Tress Way, place kicker Jason Myers, return specialist Cavante Turpin. Hey, that's another beautiful story there. And special teamer Jeremy Reeves. And as you just saw with the clip there, with Coach Rivera telling his players that they made the Pro Bowl, man. So shout out to those guys again. Congratulations, man. That's an honor to be able to be named a Pro Bowl again by your peers, coaches, and the fans. And we're going to jump into the AFC Pro Bowl roster before we get some of our fans and some of our friends up on the screen and talking some ball or whatever they want to talk about. Here at AFC, we're going to start with the offensive side. Quarterbacks: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. Running backs, we got Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry. Fullback, we got Patrick Ricard from the Baltimore Ravens. We go to the wide receivers: Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, and Jamar Chase. I think any quarterback would love to have that wide receiving core to throw to. Tight ends, we got Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. Offensive tackles: Laramie Tunsil, Teron Armstead, Orlando Brown. Offensive guards, we got Joe Batanio, Quentin Nelson, and Joe Thuney from the Kansas City Chiefs. Centers, we got Creed Humphrey and Mitch Morse. And that rounds up your offensive side of the ball for the AFC Pro Bowl roster. Defensively, defensive ends, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson. Interior linemen, Chris Jones, Quentin Williams. Shout out to Quentin Williams, man. Jeffrey Simmons. Outside linebacker, we got Matt Judon, Khalil Mack, and TJ Watt. Inside/middle linebackers, Roquan Smith and CJ Mosley. Cornerback, Sauce Gardner. Shout out to the Rook, Pat Surtain II, Marlon Humphrey, and another man-to-man alum, Xavier Howard, down there in the 305. We'll go to the safety position. Free safety, Mika Fitzpatrick. Strong safety, we got Derwin James and Jordan Poyer. A great safety crew there. Special teams, we got long snapper Morgan Cox. Punter, Tommy Townsend. Place kicker, Justin Tucker. Return specialist, Devin Duvernay, and special teamer Justin Hardy. So again, man, congratulations to everybody being named to the Pro Bowl roster. If it's your first time, definitely salute. If it's multiple times, keep doing what you're doing, stay consistent. That's how you get that longevity in the league, baby. So let's get to it, man. What we gonna do now? Something we've been talking about a long time, just getting some of the people that's been rocking with us from day one to really come up here, show face, man. Whatever you want to talk about, your team, good season, bad season, whatever, man. So first off, man, we're gonna take who is this? My guy, Destin Adams.
What's up, 41?
What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a Thursday morning. I'm off work. Christmas break is early for over here. I'm in Indiana. I'm in the 317.
Oh, you in the 317, man? That's what's up, man. So what's good, man? What you got planned for the holidays? What you got?
I'm good. I mean, this will be my first year. Me and my wife really don't have to travel much at all. All of our families in this area, which all this snow's about to hit us here, so it's very good timing.
How much snow y'all thinking about? What y'all getting? How much?
Man, it's crazy projections right now. It's like anywhere from like 2 inches to 8 inches. I don't even know how you prepare for that.
I don't see. That's one thing I don't miss about Indy. I love Indy, but that snow, I don't miss that shit. I don't miss that. So what you think about the Colts, man? And before we get off, man, I want you to plug your podcast because, I've been on your pod, man. You're doing some great things, man. So I want you to plug your pod. But before that, man, talk about those Indianapolis Colts, man. Like, what's up? What's going on? What you think we need to do to kind of get this thing back on the right track?
Well, it's been a year. It's probably been a year that feels like 40 years for some Colts fans. Just like one of those 40 years out in the desert type things. This team, for lack of a better word, has underperformed just about every area you can think of. Going into preseason, I was out at training camp, and just seeing the team on the field there and the expectations you have for not just guys like Matt Ryan, but this offensive line looked like a team, like a thing to be reckoned with during the training camp. The pass rush looked like a real threat during training camp. So you see all these things, and the team just kind of falls flat this year. That was going to be my question for you a little bit, actually, was there's only really one season that you had to deal with the Colts where you weren't a legit contender for most of your career, essentially. So that 2011-2012 year obviously ends up being when Peyton Manning gets hurt before the season starts. You guys end up going 2-14. You guys have a very similar quarterback situation where you had to start 3-4 quarterbacks. So how was it for you playing for a team where eventually at around this time of the year, you were already eliminated from playoff expectations, you being a veteran? It's like, what was that like for you?
Man, it was a good question. So for us, obviously, this was out of the norm. It was out of the norm for us. So we still had a reputation because, that horseshoe in our helmets, man, that meant a lot to us in that locker room. And I think we had a great locker room. We had a great coaching staff because typically you could get in a situation like that where we was over going into week 15. You know what I mean? So we were 0-14. So for us, it was like we didn't want to go in the record books as not winning a game. You know what I mean? So first and foremost is like we got to do whatever we got to do, scratch claw to get a win. But I think one of the things that I think helped, because you could get to a point where like, hey, I do not want to go to work. But the guys we had in our locker room, we had great guys, and then the coaching staff did a great job of holding guys together. You know, obviously the vets too, keeping guys together, holding each other accountable. So it really didn't feel, it's crazy to say this, it didn't, the 0-14 could have felt way worse than what it did. I'll say that. You know what I mean? So we was able to finally get those last 2 wins, and we finished off 2-14. But it was tough, man, because at the end of the day, it's a results business, right? You it's all about wins and losses. I don't care about anything else, wins or losses. So we're not able to get more wins and losses, man. It's tough. But you got a good core group of guys in the locker room, a great coaching staff that understands his players, then you can kind of work through that.
So all those fans out there that are expecting the Colts to just kind of fall flat and lose out because the players are on board with this tanking word, you don't think that's the case, huh?
Hell no. Like I said, man, like you got to perform on film. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's being critiqued in practice and on game day. So some guys are in the contract year, some guys are free agents. So guys gonna go out there, they're gonna scratch, they're gonna claw. I would say this, I know 100% of the time players aren't with the tanking shit. So they're gonna go out there and they're gonna rock, man. So I don't see the tanking, but obviously the game's gotta play out how they gotta play out. We'll see where they go from there. Before, I want to get some other people on here. Plug your pod, man. Tell the people where they can catch you at.
Yeah, guys, every Tuesday and Thursday I drop an episode for SB Nation's Colts affiliate, Stampede Blue. Our show is called Saddle Up with Rashad and Destin. My guy, Shad McGinnis, and me, every Tuesday and Thursday, we take fan questions, cover this Colts team, even during this type of Colts season. We've been privileged to have guys like AB and Darius Butler on with us, so make sure you guys check that out. We'll have to have you guys on again soon, man.
Man, you already know, man. That's it, man. Appreciate your support, man. Keep doing your thing, man. And I'll be talking with you soon. I'll be good. My guy, Destin, man. Again, man, put your comments in the comment section. Like I said today, man, we're going to tap in with some of the fans, some of the people that's been rocking with us from day one. Man, my guy, John J. I still trying to catch John J. I owe you a motherfucking body slam, too. John J. We're going to add my man to the stream.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, my guy?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Man, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. How your day going?
It's going fine. I'm just a little antsy that I'm, speaking with you for the first time. Never thought I'd be speaking to a Colts fan in any type of way. So honestly, it's an honor,
Oh, man.
I watched your last decade and a half. So, hey, I'm excited.
Nah, I appreciate you. So what you got, man? What you want to talk about? You want to talk about these Colts, man? Like, what's your Christmas holiday looking like, man? What's good? What you got on your mind?
So before we get to the Colts, I'll talk about, just my Christmas plans. I'm a very simple dude. Same thing every year. We'll usually have, a few people come by. Excuse me. We'll have a few people stop by in the house, just a little family get together, cook some food. So I like it nice and simple. I'm an introverted guy. No, me, I'm not. I am not. No.
Shit.
Not on Christmas. Not on Christmas. I do cook for myself normally, though.
Huh?
I do cook for myself normally, but for Christmas, I'll leave that to Mom. She's a much better cook than I am.
I respect that. So what's good, man? What's up with these Colts, man? Like, what's up, man? Like, what needs to be done? And honestly, as far as like, with Jeff Saturday being named interim coach, like, what's wrong with our Colts?
I think a lot's wrong. I think Jim Irsay, honestly, although he has, great intentions, I'm sure you know that firsthand. I think, he went about it the wrong way. I think Frank Reich, although he did bear some responsibility in the lack of offensive production the team has been dealing with throughout the season and just the team overall, I think it's pretty asinine to fire him, considering he's still a valuable head coach in some form, over a guy who's never coached, who's never even been an offensive coordinator, or an NFL head coach for that matter. And we love Jeff Saturday, but that job was not for him. Let's just be brutally honest. And so, with that, I do have some. I have one particular recommendation for a new
What's
head
that?
coach going into next season. I'm a big fan of D'Amico Ryan's defensive coordinator for the 49ers, particularly because he can coach the hell out of a defense, as you know. And I think it's important, especially for the Colts. The last two head coaches they've gotten, Chuck Pagano and Frank Reich, they've been much older guys in their mid to late 50s. So I
Yeah,
think bringing in a guy who's currently 38 years old right now, going to be 39, who's much more relatable to the players playing today, and who looks
yeah.
more like the players. I think he could bring. I think he could bring a different swagger to the team that Frank Reich and Chuck Pagano cannot bring. So
Now, shit, I like that, man, because like you said, D'Amico Ryan's, man, he has that defense, man, flying around out there in the Bay for the 49ers. Um, and I like that. I wouldn't mind seeing D'Amico Ryan's, man, as our head coach. There's been
Mhm.
some rumors as far as bringing Harbaugh in from Michigan. We'll see how that goes as far as offseason. Just that route that Jim Irsay decides to take. But I agree with you on that take.
Mhm.
I
What do
agree
you
with you.
what do you think of Jim Harbaugh? Quick point.
Um, Shit, I mean, good coach. I had him. He was my head coach my first year out there in San Fran. Um, sometimes he could rub people the wrong way, but again, man, that's not what the business is about. The business is about going out there and being able to put a good product out there on the field. And in San Fran, he was able to do that. At Michigan, he's been able to do that. So
Mhm. I
if
agree.
that's what you're looking for, man, like that's all I can respect as a person, as a head coach. When you go up there and you speak in front of grown men, you know, you gotta stand on what you speak. And I think he's
Mhm.
done that, regardless of if you like it or not. He does that. And then
Mhm.
again, like I said, he's able to put a good product out there on the field, man. And that's what you want.
Yeah, I think if he was 15 to 20 years younger, I think I'd be maybe I might have been in favor of him as well. But like I said, he's just much older than the guys. I think they just need to go for someone much younger like D'Amico Ryan's. And like I said, I think with him being a younger head coach as well, his upside is much higher. And I
Yeah,
think within the next 5 years, I mean, he can show the league, that he can coach very well, and it'll give other black coaches a step ahead in the hiring process going forward. So I think he's
facts.
capable of doing that. So yeah, I'm
Nah,
I'm I'm in huge favor of D'Amico Ryan's coming. I hope they get him. Fingers crossed.
they you heard it from John Jay himself.
Uh,
D'Amico Ryans. You heard it from my guy John J, man. As always, John J, man,
mhm.
you've been rocking with us from day one, bro.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate the support, man.
All right.
Um,
You're welcome.
all the love, man. You tapped in Monday, Thursdays, man. You tapped in with us. So again, man, I definitely appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you too. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
take care.
Have a good holiday.
All right, you as well.
My man John J. That damn screen was blue as hell, boy. You came ready for that. But but again, man, John J, man, appreciate you for tapping in, boss, man. D'Amico Ryan's, man, I think he's gonna get a lot of consideration this off season as far as head coaching vacancies, and I think it's gonna be a few of them this year, man. That Black Monday, it's just gonna be real. Um, Again, man, I'm looking in the comments. So if y'all got some questions, y'all got some comments, please put them in there. Tone, Top Shelf Fitness, man. He trying to figure out how he joined Top Shelf, man. My man, our producer Tone gonna get with you. Dave K, he has a good question. NFL players prefer younger head coaches. Do we prefer younger head coaches, man? We prefer head coaches that can get the job done. I think that's the biggest thing. I never was a player like, I want a younger head coach. I prefer a younger head coach. We want a head coach that can get the job done. And that's going, garner your respect. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I always talk about when a guy gets up in the front of the room and you looking out on these 60 grown men, 63 grown men, and when you speak, man, your words got to hold something. It got to mean something. You know what I mean? So regardless if you're young, you old, if you can project out on your players, that's what it's all about. Next up, who we got, man? Who we gonna bring up? G.I. Joe. another one of a man-to-man power faithfuls, man. G.I. Joe, man. What's good?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How you?
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, man. I can hear you. I can hear you. What you got going on?
Just helping my fiance at her business and everything. She owns a dog grooming business, and
Okay.
so it's a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. You know, I always try to tell her it was like a fluff job, no pun intended. But man, that's just tough. Like, I mean, we always say like, you probably get your hair cut at a barber. He's a professional. You know, he does the right thing that you want, but you're not over there flailing about and doing all this other wild stuff. Dogs don't really respond the same way as humans do. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic of being able to kind of take every single scenario differently, kind of like on a football field, kind of like when I was in the military, being able to adapt and kind of relate in a way to another being is kind of neat.
Yeah. How long has wifey been running the business?
Well, she used to show dogs in high school, and pretty much she's been around dogs for the majority of her life, like 20 years. And then she started her own business like 15 years ago. And then she's pretty much solo dolo. She, you know, runs those social media. She runs like the whole back. She tells me what to do. Like, so it's fun. It's a weird dynamic. My family, my parents work together, and you know, so it was a weird dynamic growing up where separating work and home. We used to do that in the military. They would train us. You can't take everything home with you. You know, like some people, like with Kyler Murray, like he had a huge thing where, hey, you know, like, was he actually doing in the work at home, or can he get all the work done at work? And having that separation, like working out for you guys and for us, like we would work out not just while we're at work, we would work out, you know, on our own. We would know our own body. We would know what we had to do, you know, understanding that the balance of your time and your energy is a very key aspect in being a professional and being a good human, is being able to kind of balance all of the ebbs and flows, the goods, bads, the, you know, the being an athlete. I can see, you know, you guys have to kind of take a lot of the grunt, but you guys are all out there together. And I think that's what makes a good team, is understanding like, hey, when this guy's lacking, we gotta kind of pick up for him. You don't want the other guy to look bad, you know. It's an interesting dynamic. I think humans kind of lose that element of humanity where, you know, we just expect something from somebody all the time, and like we aren't human. We don't have these good days, we have these bad days, you know. But I think as long as we're all understanding, we're all trying to push in the same direction, I think that's the only way that we can all become successful and truly be happy. So it's just a weird, fun kind of dynamic about life. And I think with podcasts, you guys are kind of bringing the human of the athlete out, because a lot of the times all you guys are judged on are your stats or how you do in a game, but like that's a small fraction of what you are as actual humans. And I appreciate you guys kind of being more forthright, being more open and honest. And, you know, it's really fascinating, because like us military guys, we're all kind of misunderstood. But we sign away a lot of our freedoms. We sign a lot of our abilities to be able to do certain things for other people. And you guys do a lot of that same type of stuff. You guys sacrifice a lot of your own personal time and energy away from your family, away from your friends. You're over there working on yourself. And, you know, you got to kind of balance somebody would say it's selfish. Some people would say it's selfless. So it's like, you got to kind of understand both sides of it, but it's good.
Nah, man, that's good stuff, man. Definitely shout out to wifey, man, holding it down. I know being a business owner is not easy. And I can only imagine, you know, working with your spouse and then having to come home and I know that's a lot as well.
Man,
but to your point, I know we used to talk about it all the time. What Coach Dungy did was like, you know, leave work at work. leave home at home, man.
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
man, that really does affect your how you are in your workplace, but then it also, if you take work home, it definitely can fracture fracture a home, man. So I definitely agree with you on that one, G.I. Joe.
It can test your base.
No doubt.
If at the end of the day, you should always go back to your fundamentals.
All day. Yep.
Fundamentals will keep you in line. Fundamentals will keep you sane. Fundamentals will keep you safe. Because as long as you understand your responsibilities, you understand your time and where your energy should actually be focused, you can't, if you do that, you won't be caught up in all the whirlwind of everything else that's going on. Because if you try to handle everything at once, you won't end up doing anything at all.
No,
It's kind of just understanding that whole dynamic of just doing your job and kind of just focusing on just one task at a time. I like golf a lot, and it helped me with getting out of the military because it's like you fire and forget. You do it and then you move on. You're at a new challenge. You're at a new, you can't remember that last play. You got to just keep on going. You got to focus on the next one at hand, and you just got to put yourself in that place and in that moment, and then make it happen. So
yes, sir. Man, appreciate you, G.I. Joe, man. As always, man, you've been
happy holidays to you guys. And sorry DP couldn't make it. I would have loved to chopped it up with him, but I know that he's getting back to his fam dam. And
yeah, man. So, D-Butt, man, he's holding it down. He'll be back on Monday. But as always, G.I. Joe, you've been supporting us from day one, man. So
absolutely
appreciate that, man. And have a happy holiday, bro.
Hey, you too, boss.
All right, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I got G.I. Joe. Appreciate you as always, G.I. Joe. If y'all got some questions or comments for D-Butt, man, D-Butt, he's in the comment section, man. So y'all put some questions up there for D-Butt, man. We'll get a few more. My man C-Pen for the win. What it do? Kansas City Chiefs, one of their biggest fans. What's going on, my guy?
What's good, my guy? Man, hope you're enjoying yourself, man. Get close to the holidays and everything. But yeah, man, the reason I really came on today is, even though we near the top of the AFC still and all that,
right?
There's a few things that bugs me, man. And it's about you guys, man, the Colts, man.
What's good?
Like every time we go against y'all, man, no matter how good these teams are, no matter how bad these teams are or whatnot, we seem to have an issue with y'all. Okay, so like besides the whole matchup ordeal, like what else is it, man? What's the ordeal with us not be able to have as much success against y'all from your perspective?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about. It's funny you asked that because I want to go back on my time playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think I would say with the Colts. I don't think we ever lost to y'all.
Yeah.
But as far as I think, but when you said it when you first started talking. I just think it's about the matchups too. You know what I'm saying? And with you guys, y'all always gonna have the bullseye on your back because y'all are a good team, and that's what good teams have to deal with week in and week out. And I don't think a lot of people think about that. Like, I don't care how sorry the team is, how sorry the opponent is, they're gonna get up to play a great team. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be that attention to detail is gonna be a little bit more, on point. When you're playing a Patrick Mahomes, when you're playing a Travis Kelce. So I just think that's kind of what it is. It could be the matchup, it could be whatever the case may be, but y'all gonna always have that bullseye on y'all back until y'all get to a point where y'all not good anymore. And I don't see that happening anytime soon with, Patrick Mahomes, being y'all quarterback.
Yeah, the bullseye is crazy, man, because another team, the Cincinnati Bengals, they kind of like y'all. They've been having our number ever since Joe Burrow took over. And since he's like 3-0 against us right now. It's like every single game's been by a field goal. We just can't get past them, man. That fourth quarter, they seem to have our number. That's been our issue with them. So.
They saying out there, y'all play down to y'all competition.
Yeah, we have, man. We have. It's been a little disappointing, man. The Texans there's no business for us to go into overtime against them, but it is what it is, man.
So what's your expectation for the Chiefs this year, man? Is it Super Bowl or bust?
Oh yeah, I mean, I still think we can get to the bowl, but we got to get past Cincy, man. That's the one team that's been getting us really. Buffalo, I mean, that's the next team. They've been getting us in the regular season a bit, but in the playoffs, they just got to prove they can beat us in the playoffs. But Cincinnati, they've been having our number, man. We got to get past them.
Yeah, I see. It's just in my opinion, it's Kansas City Chiefs, it's the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Buffalo Bills coming out of the AFC, out of those three teams. So we'll see. Y'all got a good shot though.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I mean, what you got planned for the holidays, man?
Man, slow motion for me, man. My sister-in-law's here today. My mom and dad, they get here to this afternoon, man. So, just sit around, have a few drinks, man, eat good, and watch the kiddos open up the gifts, man. So it's easy around here around the Christmas holiday.
So that's what's up.
Yeah, man. So again, man, we appreciate the support, bro. Have a happy holiday, man. Enjoy the time with the fam, man. And shoot, man, keep doing what you're doing. And Happy New Year.
All right, you too, man. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you and your fam as well.
All right, bro. Be good.
All right, my G.
Man, D-Butt and the Thunder. I think D-Butt, he's on his way to the Thunderdome, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though, but no, I think he is on his way to the Thunderdome. Hey, again, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in, man, getting on the live show with us. We can get a few more people, man. My guy Evan, what it do, man? What's up?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Appreciate you tapping in with us, man. How's your day going?
Oh, it's going a little crazy. Got kids dropped off, came back. I'm going into the lab later. I'm a chemist. I mix it up. You know how it is.
Okay.
Yeah. But, no, just been loving, I think G.I. Joe was saying a little bit, how you guys really bring like a human aspect to a lot of these athletes, presenting yourself, but also like, there's so much chatter out there about this guy doing this. And, I think back in the day when I was, coming up and being a player myself, you see guys like Pac-Man out there getting wild and people talking mad crazy about him. They don't know him. Yeah. They just talk about him and he's getting into problems. And you get these media narratives that just kind of beat down on players. But they're real people, man. You know what I mean? People make mistakes. People have been brought up different. They may not have had the same sort of opportunities, which, I give mad props to you and everything you've been doing with Howard over the years. Being a DC guy myself, obviously I grew up outside of DC, lived in DC. But, I know a bunch of guys from Howard, because I went to College Park. Right. But just seeing guys like you, give back, bring meeting to other players, legacy, and everything like that. It's heartening. Like you hear about it, back in the old days, the old media, but guys like you, guys like Pat and so many of the other podcasts that are coming out, really just. It just brings a different aspect to seeing some of our favorite players also being some of our favorite humans. So
man, I think as a player, that was one of the things that we always hated, right? Is that when you would hear things about players in the media, it was majority bad, right? Like somebody was getting pulled over by the police, getting locked up, whatever the case may be. But it was so much good that was going on in the NFL from players, half of the league, having their own foundation, like all the things that they're doing in the community, and it never got nearly as much as pub as the bad stuff there. So now, as you said, former players and current players are just, controlling the narrative. And that's what it's always about, is the narrative and how people, in different perspectives. So, again, if we could have a microscope on every person's life, man, we'll be surprised at some of the shit that we will probably see or what we will probably hear.
Oh, for sure,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? So again, man, everybody go through shit, but I appreciate you just even recognizing that.
Yeah, and just lastly, so I'm a big Ravens fan. You know, obviously grew up out in the area.
Yeah.
Lately, you know, Eric DeCosta, his wife Lacey, you see her on Twitter talking up guys, working also, you know, talking to like Marlon Humphrey, which is just like hilarious. Did you guys ever have like I wouldn't say team mom, but somebody that kind of filled that role, either mom or dad or like uncle or something like that kind of like help hold you guys down?
I did not.
No?
I did not. Like, obviously, you had guys that you were cool with that had significant others that, you know, just family wise, you know, were good people and were cool. But as far as that, like, I don't think we ever had like per se like that team mom that would hold it down. But you know, we would have significant others bake cookies for the locker room, bring cakes in for the locker room. We definitely did have that, man. But again, man, that just goes to show like just the culture of different teams. Like a team has a great culture, a great, you know, foundation. Typically that team is going to be a good team and they're going to go far, man. So Baltimore, they've had that for a long time.
Good. Shout out to Ozzy, man. Shout out to Ozzy, 100% on that.
No doubt, man. That shit's not easy to do, man. Yeah. So, again, brother, man, appreciate you. Hope you have a great holiday with the fam.
You too, buddy.
Keep cooking it up in the lab, man. Literally, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to you, bro.
All right, take it easy, bro.
All right, you too.
Later.
Yep. Next up, we got my guy Rob. Rob, man, what it do?
What's going on, D-Butt? Or not D-Butt. What's going on, Antoine?
Man, what you had? You had a couple drinks already?
Nah, man. Just got a little cold going on.
Got a little cold
going on.
Yeah, man. What's good, man? You in Naptown? You in Indy?
No, I was actually staying in South Carolina, actually.
In what part?
Charleston.
Charleston? Okay.
Yeah. My dad lived in Indy. My dad lived in Indy when I was growing up, about 12 or 13. So like I used to go to the games at the RCA Dome, and you know, I got to meet you and D Butt in Jacksonville one year.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I got both of y'all's autographs in Jacksonville one year. I think it was actually D Butt's rookie year when he came when he came over from New England.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Nobody really.
I think D Butt went off in that game. D Butt might have had.
Yes, he did. He did. Nobody really knew who he was.
Yeah,
so he went off in that game. Yep, he sure did.
When I was like, I think that's when I was like, oh yeah, I can play with this guy. You know, before then I was kind of on the ropes and shit, but nah.
For sure. Yeah, he definitely, you know, turned out to be one of the good ones for sure.
Nah, facts, man. Anything exciting for the Christmas holiday for you?
Not really. You know, well, actually, yes and no. I'm, you know, I got to work on Saturday, Christmas Eve, but after that, I'm off for the next 7 days. So,
okay,
that's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting for sure, man. But I just want to bring. Go ahead.
Now, I just wanted to get your perspective on who you think, you know, coach should go with in the draft if they, you know, get high enough to get a quarterback.
Man, I don't know, man, because shit, right now we sitting at.
I think we're sitting at number 6 right now.
Number 6.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the only team ahead of us that's going to probably take a quarterback would be Houston.
Yeah, Houston definitely need a quarterback, and I think they will probably. That's a good question.
I could see them taking, you know, Young from you know, Alabama or Stroud, one of the two.
Yeah, I think Young might be the first to go off the board. It depends, sure. Man. It depends. I think with the quarterback, I think so much has to go into like you picking a quarterback, right? You got to understand, like if you have a quarterback, you got to have some weapons around that young quarterback for him to be successful, right? So your O
For
line,
sure.
your running back, you got to run it back. I just think we still need that top tier receiver, and I think
Yeah, for sure.
we got to go get
I
that.
mean,
So regardless of
Pittman
what
could be
quarterback
it.
we go get, we got to have
I
some
had a
weapons
lot
around
of
him to make him thrive.
I had a lot of hope for Alec, but he hasn't showed up in the past few games.
Yeah, I mean, you can
So,
have hopes for a lot of things, man. But that's what, again, man, this
for
is one
sure.
of those business, man. Like, and it's not a situation where you can do it 1 week or 2 weeks, man. You got to be consistently over a period of time where you out there eating.
For sure. And what do you think? Do you think Irsay stays with Ballard, or do you think he goes elsewhere? I know he's already said he's going to stay with Ballard, but you know how the NFL works.
Yeah, I think he stays with Ballard. I think he
I
stays with
think so
Ballard.
too.
Ballard, I'm pretty sure they'll have a sit down and they'll go through as far as like what that new head coach looks like, what they're trying to bring in. And then they'll
For
go from there.
sure.
I think they'll go from there. But I think Ballard stays.
I know that guy who said, he wanted the guy from San Francisco, which hey, I don't blame him on that one. But what do you
Yeah.
think about the enemy, especially if we get a quarterback? We're gonna have somebody that's gonna have to know how to coach up the offense.
I think the enemy, man, I think it's long overdue for him. I think he
I agree.
definitely deserves a shot of being a head coach in this league. So I won't be mad at that either.
I agree.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I guess you answered all my questions that I had.
Nah, no doubt, Rob, man. I appreciate the support, my guy. Again,
No
like I'm
problem,
telling
man. I
everybody,
appreciate you bringing me on.
of course, man. I wish you a happy holidays, man. Stay safe, man.
You
I
as
love
well.
you. Love.
Of course, man. Take it easy, brother.
All right, man. You too, bro.
All right, man.
Yep. Jordan, man. What's good, man? You've been waiting patiently, man. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, AB? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm out here at work right now, but everything's
shit. You
going
supposed to
pretty
be
good.
working. You gotta be on the pod. I love that.
My friend.
I love
There's
that.
nothing going on out here. I'm out here in nature and stuff. I got nothing going on. I'm good.
Nah, that's what's up, man. What's good, man? What you got on your mind, man? What you want to talk about?
So I mean, they just picked a Pro Bowl. I mean, you talked about the Pro Bowl earlier and about your first Pro Bowl. So for your first Pro Bowl, you got to play alongside like Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, my favorite player ever. You got to play alongside like Ray Lewis and stuff. Can you tell us kind of a little bit about what that was like to be able to play alongside those guys, especially since I was so early in your career?
Man, that was everything, man. Like you said, like you named all Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? So be able to play alongside, it was John Lynch as well. Like you said, Champ Bailey, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. Like those are the moments as a young player, man, that you never forget those type of moments. You know what I'm saying? And it was in Hawaii, so that was my first time in Hawaii. My first time my family was able to travel over there. But through those times, just sitting in the locker room on the playing field, obviously, it's a much looser environment. But just being able to hear those guys talk about the game, talk about their path and where they was at that time, because a lot of those guys, it was coming to the end for the most part for most of those guys. But that was everything. Again, I was my second year in the league, man. I couldn't imagine being in a better place or a better situation than at the Pro Bowl with those guys.
That's all. And then you made two other ones. Were either the other ones were they all in Hawaii, or was one of them when you had to go to Arizona?
Nah, so the second one was the second one was in Miami. And then the third one was in Arizona.
Got you. Did you prefer the Hawaii one more?
No doubt. No question.
Yeah.
No question. I get what the NFL is trying to do, make it, a experience for the fans. So like, more fans from the States could get there. And, it's all about the green, man. But as a player, Hawaii, man, it's a trip for you being able to get away with the family, man, and then being able to just touch another fan base. So Hawaii by far.
Yeah, and then last thing I had pretty much was I'm a huge Broncos fan. Obviously, Champ Bailey is my favorite player, and then second is probably Von Miller. But thank you for beating the Chiefs all those times when you were with the Colts. Appreciate that, man.
No doubt, man. Again, man, like I'm telling everybody, Jordan, man, appreciate the support, appreciate you tapping in, man, and wish you a happy holidays, brother.
Yeah, you too, you AB or you DB, everybody.
All right, man, appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Michael, you there? Nope. Oh shit. Leo, what it do?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's good?
What's good, man? I just wanted to talk. I was going to talk about Patrick Mahomes, and he should be the MVP, but everybody knows that already. So
I don't know,
well,
man.
really, huh?
I don't know, man. Patrick Mahomes, he been balling, man. But Jalen Hurts, man, he been rocking this year.
He was MVP before Jalen even got hurt. You know how the odds changed just a couple days ago. I know Jalen been balling, but not like Mahomes, man. And I know I'm biased. But I really wanted to ask, what do you? I know they was talking about it on Pat's show yesterday. D-Bud was talking about it too, about this Aaron Rodgers shit and guys being held accountable and how people didn't know signals and shit like that.
Man, accountability is everything, and that's in all aspects of life, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and I think it's kind of human nature where a lot of times people don't appreciate the being held accountable. Like, you might appreciate it on the back end, but when it's happening, like it's tough. I can't even front. But man, as a leader, as a guy that's been doing it at a high level, like, you gotta hold your guys accountable. Like, missing a signal, like, that's uncalled for. You know what I mean? Not knowing what you're supposed to do, that's uncalled for. So I don't mind. It's a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a way to do it as far as, calling guys out, holding your guys accountable, man. But at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man. Being able to be accountable to your guys.
Yeah, and if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, they ain't gonna tell you the signals. And I know they was talking about that article and shit like that.
Yeah, but I don't think A-Rod, what he's doing, I don't think, ain't nothing wrong with that, man, holding your guys accountable, especially your young guys, man. You want to teach your young guys the ropes, man. Give them that longevity in the league. Right,
exactly. That's how you're going to last.
No doubt.
But I just want to hear what you had to say about it. That's it, man. Free Gump, free Chiefsaholic. That's fucked up.
Nah, I see you at work, right? You grinding. You at work?
Oh, yeah, man. We in Kansas. Let me open this door up, show you this good weather you missed. I know you was talking about it earlier. Hold on.
Man, I already know it's probably crazy out there.
Jesus.
Yeah, y'all can keep that.
I'll close this door back up.
Nah, you can keep that, man. But, man, hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you tapping in with us, bro. Happy holidays to you and yours.
Yes, likewise. Everybody.
All right, man. Be good, bro.
Peace.
My dude, I say that right?
Hey, AB, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, my guy. What's good?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Right. Yep. Hey, thank you for having me on. Is it coming through okay? You can see my basement, all the pipes on the top.
Yeah, man, I can see that whack ass Cowboys hat you got on.
Oh my God, man, I gotta rep them, right? But I go to work in Michigan, so I also got this as a backup. So they're doing pretty well. Like, this is brand new Lions, right?
Brand new Lions. Yeah, right. Yeah. So which one is it? Is it Cowboys or is it Lions?
No,
it's butt now. Like,
it's always Cowboys. It's
always Cowboys.
Yep.
All right, now you. I know you probably been watching the show a lot. I know D-Buck got a lot of teams, man. So you look like you might got a bunch of different teams over there. What's good?
Right. Yep. I know this is, it's not, I mean, maybe I should have picked an AFC team, like a backup in the other side. So yeah, but it's the Cowboys. So yep.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, thanks for having me on again. This is
Of
really
course.
cool. I'm trying not to like freak out and be a big fanboy, but I really like you guys' show. And then congrats on the winning streak in betting. I hope I'm not jinxing it. I'm trying to.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Right.
Yeah, don't say
So
it.
yeah,
Don't
right.
say it.
So I had a couple of questions, if that's okay.
No, that's perfectly fine, man.
Right.
What's up?
So I don't know if you had a chance to see this, but Richard Sherman recently was talking about Kyle Shanahan when he was with the Falcons and when Sherman was with the Seahawks. He talked about how Dan Quinn was the DC, and then Shanahan, he said, broke the rules of their defense. He ran like I think it was a multi-tight end screen, and then these guys were playing zone. So I was wondering, like, but more than the example, it was like when he said, and then now Dan Quinn's with the Cowboys. So I'm like, he said the rules of the defense got broken. So I was wondering, you've seen a lot of different coaches and DCs, right? So how much do you think they really evolve? Like some of them are like their strategies don't change a lot, right? Like some guys are like if you see the like Spagnuolo or the person with the Bengals, they usually go for a lot of pressure on third down.
Yeah.
So do you think they change a lot? Because sometimes it feels like the Cowboys defense has been figured out a little bit last couple of weeks, but they've had injuries too. So I'm just wondering, do DCs evolve a lot? I know personnel has a lot to do with it, but like on philosophy, do they change a lot, you think?
So, again, like you say, personnel is key on the defense, right? So as the defensive coordinator, you can come in and say, hey, look, I want to run this defense this way. But if you don't have your personnel, like sometimes you're going to have to tweak that, right? So, again, Richard Sherman says, hey, switch it up. Like, you got to look at, okay, what Richard Sherman and that defense, the Legion of Boom, had versus what another defense may have. That personnel could be totally different. So, as a DC, sometimes you do have to tweak that defense based on the personnel that you have, right? To answer another part of your question, as far as like, does DC, do they evolve? They have to evolve. The game evolves each year. So it's some things that, hey, this is what we do. But as the game evolves, coaches have to evolve. So that's another thing where coaches study. You have to self-scout as far as, okay, well, we on third down, we show that we run this pressure. We zone blitz a lot. So we got to do something different. So again, it's a lot that goes into it. I don't ever think that, it's okay, this is one style, this is the way you got to run it all the time. I don't think that's a good way to kind of look at it because, again, you have to tweak different things week in, week out, year in, year out. So I get what Sherman was saying is, okay, we ran this defense and we were successful at it. This was the coach that we had. But again, as time progresses, as coaches move on with different teams, with different players, some things is going to have to change. But that's a great question, though.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I think maybe it's also like more of the college game coming in the offense, and it feels like coaches are more adaptable now. Maybe the younger coaches are also more approachable because they're younger, right? Because they maybe take more feedback. But yeah, right. Yep. Thank you for that. And then I was wondering, so I mean, I'm a pretty undersized guy, and I appreciate that corner and safety is probably one of the most difficult positions to play. And
Yeah.
I love you guys is talking about it from that perspective because you played in the league.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, so it's sort of like a gotcha question, but would you prefer a out of the world linebacker, or would you prefer like a Bosa or Aaron Donald edge rusher on your team as a person in the backfield?
Edge rusher.
No, not even going to think about it.
Nah, I'm not even going to think about it. Edge rusher, man. Again, as you always hear, coverage and rush, they go together, right? So as a DB, I want a guy that's going to be able to get to the quarterback in 2 to 3 seconds. So now in my mind, I already know, like, if I'm a corner, I can play off a little bit and I can read the quarterback and I can break because I know the ball's going to come out quick. You know what I mean? So
or you can jam them up and they get a coverage sack. Right, all of them jammed up. Yep. Yeah,
it plays hand in hand. So, no question, edge rusher, a D tackle that can push the pocket, anything. You know what I mean? But I'm always gonna go rusher.
Right. Okay. Yep. Thank you for
Another good question. Another good question, man.
Yeah. Thank you. And then before I forget, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, man. Same
Yeah,
to you and yours,
I'm
man.
out here in Michigan, so we're all gonna get bad weather. Looks like. So stay safe. Hope you don't gotta travel a lot.
No, I'm not traveling anywhere, man. You stay safe. You stay
Yep.
warm.
Yep.
And you know, good luck to your Cowboys
Right.
and your Lions.
Yep. Hey, just one more if I can sneak one in.
Of course, of course.
So I thought about this. So I follow quite a bit of basketball too, and I mean, well, with the Mavs one and then the Pistons one, I sort of like. It's gonna sound odd, but I like when the Pistons won. If you remember, that was one of the last like defensive teams to win it with a lot of hand checking, and then not a lot of matches like they scored more than 100 points, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't great for the league, and then the league made it like they don't really call even travels now. There's like jokes about people traveling all the time. So when some of these older folks are like, especially the guys who played in the 90s, they're like, no man, you wouldn't be able to. You can't go through the middle. People just whack you, and then. So would you bring back any rules or that the NFL's banned now or sort of taking it out of the game to make it more fair for the defense? Because even like Brady was saying sometimes, right? Some of these roughing the passers are also they're so silly, right? Like
I would say the defenseless receiver, right? Like that one, like I'm still like confused on how you make that a rule, because the whole object of a defender is to stop the receiver from catching the ball. So if a receiver has his hands on the ball, pause, like the defender gotta hit him. You know what I'm saying? So like the defensive receiver, man, that rule, the roughing the passer, that rule, it's a couple rules. As long as also like right now the DB, if you got a 6'5", you got a Trent Williams coming around the corner. Like, as a defender, I gotta hit him up high. Like back in my day, we was always taught chop him low, create a foul. Like you can't do that. So like some of these rules, man, it's just like obviously it's favorites for the offense. Like offense, it sells tickets or whatever the case may be. But there's a few rules, man, that I would change. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, yeah, they just want to run up the score, like, because I mean, it sells tickets, but yeah, you want to see a more even game. So yeah, hopefully that'll change too. So thank you guys so much for having me on. I love your guys' show, and then hope the new year brings more success to you guys. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that, brother, man. Be good, man. Be safe.
Thank you. Yep. You too. Bye.
All right, man. We can get our last guest up here before we get out of here. Michael, you there? Michael, you there? All right. Man, appreciate everybody, man, jumping on, man. We're gonna do that more often when D-Buck gets here. But again, man, we appreciate y'all. Happy Thursday. As I always say, man, get those 30 minutes in today, man. Health is wealth. I don't know what the hell going on with Mike, man, but that Spectrum is whooping his ass today. But it's much love, man. Again, y'all tap into the Saturday pick show. Me and D-Buck, we're gonna give y'all our picks, man. Use that cheat sheet. And it's always, man, much love. Catch you on Saturday. We out.
Plus, and select states first online real money wager only. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bet as it expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. That's in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 NAZ. 1-888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana, and then 1-877 1-800-7-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369 in New York. Tennessee, red line. All right, 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee, 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming, or visit www.1800gambler.net in West Virginia.
Hey, man, we gone. Merry Christmas. Love on your loved ones. See you Saturday. Peace.